is the Glass Cannon Network.
Good evening, folks. It's time for Chaos. This is our Masks of Nyarlathotep playthrough. I want to talk for a second about horror. I'm not a big horror movie guy. I never have been. I've never seen Friday the 13th. I've never seen any Nightmare on Elm Street, Hellraiser. I haven't seen any Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Any of those movies. Is anybody like a big horror geek?
I wouldn't say geek, but I like horror movies.
Yeah.
I'm a fan.
Did
you watch it when you were a kid?
Enough reply for you?
I know.
I didn't want to say geek because I don't want to get quizzed on anything.
Exactly. Right. Like there's layers and levels to this stuff, but I feel like we're all enthusiasts.
Yeah.
I wasn't allowed to watch it.
No.
Or
I've
except
seen
Kate.
less new ones.
I just don't want chat to fight me on something.
Yeah. I feared them.
What'd you say, Rob? You've seen less of the new ones, but you've seen all the classics?
I feel like as I've gotten older and had children, my life is now more stressful. So the idea of like, after a long, stressful day of parenting, I'm going to stress the shit out of myself by watching some movie where people keep getting murdered. So I keep hearing like Midsummer. There's some of these newer ones that are supposed to be awesome that I have not seen yet because I'm just like, I can't put myself through this shit right now.
Yeah, I feel you. Like those thrillers. I always liked The Shining. That was something I enjoyed, but that was more artsy, more like mental horror. Mm-hmm. But I had strict parents, my mom especially. Like I wasn't allowed to watch that stuff, and I wasn't like the kid that snuck that. I don't know. As I got older, I was never like, I need to go back and watch the classics because I think I'm correct in saying they're not good movies, right?
Whoa.
They're pretty trashy movies, aren't they? Maybe the first one is good, but then they just get silly.
Yeah. You want to fight me?
Troy just declared war.
Yeah.
First of all,
just classic provocateur Lavallee coming in and throwing his
So you're telling me by the time it's Friday the 13th Part 7, this is a tour de force, the likes of which we haven't seen since Godfather Part 2?
There's peaks and valleys in these franchises. There's subgenres within subgenres. You got to know what you're getting into. You got to know what you want out of it.
Yeah.
And then you'll get it. The bigger franchises, I feel like, and any of you guys can correct me, I feel like the bigger franchises start off strong, then they kind of dip and go back and forth. But again, it's like Nightmare on Elm Street. First one's a classic. Mm-hmm. Second one was much reviled, but turns out to be an amazing story of like a kid trying to come out of the closet, basically. Like, and there's this whole there's even a documentary just about Nightmare on Elm Street 2 about what the subtext of that movie really was and how some of the people making it didn't want to admit that that's what it was. And then you got then there's like the blockbuster one with Nightmare 4, then it gets fucking nuts, and then they try to go like auteur with New Nightmare. I mean, it just depends on who's. There's a lot to. This is not the right time to get into this.
Kate, I know you don't.
Episode on.
Yeah.
Kate, you don't watch movies at all, but did you back in the day? And did you watch this nonsense?
I did watch like some Disney stuff over and over again, but like it was playing in the background while like my cousins were over. Mm-hmm. But I don't like scary movies. I don't think that watching them is fun. And I think I know why. When I was younger, my grandfather on my dad's side would pretend that he was Jason like all the time. One
Christmas.
time, I had a friend over and we were playing outside and we were coming back in, the garage door was open and he's standing in the garage with a steak knife, just slowly going back and forth like this staring at us with the knife. And we were like, what the fuck? We run down the street. My friend's like, what if your grandfather really is Jason? Like, what's going on? He mortified us. They had to come find us. We like ran away. So I don't like scary movies.
Wow.
Damn, okay. But that's a legit reason why.
Yeah, that's
That was a scary life. You had a scary life. You didn't need a
you
movie.
lived it.
Sounds very traumatic.
Too soon.
Yeah, so I don't think it's fun because I would live it. Yeah.
Wouldn't it be weird if you ran into the house and you're like, Grandpa's doing it again? And they're like, Kate, Grandpa died 20 years ago.
Man.
Grandma's got a knife. It's Jason.
Why,
Dun,
tonight's
dun,
the
dun.
anniversary. Rumor says if you go into the garage, you can still hear him.
Pee-wee's Big Adventure might be a horror movie.
That's terrifying. Noura, you were into him when you were young?
Still am. I mean, not as much. I don't. But I feel, but that's only because there's so many more viewing options that you just kind of get bombarded. I loved The Exorcist, The Omen, like all those movies, the Omen movies. Even though they get shittier as they go along, as they progress. But the first one was amazing.
Those are like religious horror movies.
Yeah,
right?
I like a good like possession. Like I like loved the Annabelle movies. I loved what else? Oh, you know what did fuck me up though as a child? It. I had no parental like. My parents weren't really supervising what I was watching, and I watched that was like on TV once.
Well, it was a TV movie.
Wait.
That's how it fucked up all children. It was because parents were like, "Oh, it's on TV. It'll be fine."
Yeah, it'll be fine. Yeah, and these days, like I love American Horror Story. Also watch those. I loved Hereditary and Midsommar. They were fantastic. So I here and there, but I like a good scary movie.
Ross, I imagine you're watching mostly French New Wave horror movies.
Yes, all of this talk of horror movies is rather pedestrian for my taste.
The killer was capitalism.
I find the most horrifying thing to be existential ennui, Troy. We were talking beforehand, and I grew up in kind of like out in the country, y'all, and where there weren't a lot of video stores, and we didn't have a TV for a long time. So I was like, horror movies were talked about like as like kid folklore around me, and I kind of built them up in my imagination to be much more terrifying than they ended up being when I finally encountered them. But when I finally did, I was like, oh, I got to clear up all these blind spots. But I do like a bunch of them, and like Hellraiser, I think, is one of my faves. That I feel like is a cut above for that era.
Oh yeah,
it's so squeamish and unique and twisted.
What's his thing? What is his deal? Why is he mad? Killing people?
Here's the thing, Pinhead. Pinhead's what we call him. He is, of course, the Hell Priest. But he's not mad at all, Troy. That's the thing. He's kind. He wants to show you such things. They are angels to some, demons to others. You summoned them. They just want to show you the gossamer thin line between pleasure and pain.
Yeah, then some caterpillar guy comes in and goes,
Yeah.
Troy, we got to make you a list. We got to make you a top 5.
Yeah. You know what? If you give me a top 5 in 3 years, I will watch all 5 of them.
You should, honestly, because of what we're doing here, you should at least watch like The Thing. You should watch the John Carpenter's The Thing.
Yeah, I mean, that's
very
classic
Lovecrafty
Cthulhu. Yeah.
We could each pick one old school, like a classic one, and one modern one.
Oh, that's
I love
fun.
that idea.
Yeah.
Kate, what am I going to be watching out of your...
Sitting here being like, yeah.
Cinderella.
You need to watch Aladdin with my grandfather.
There are scary parts. You know what? No, I would pick like Neverending Story 2. I could never watch that. It was getting too scary. I don't like animatrons and like puppets and stuff. So there's
I never
your
saw the
retro
sequel.
one.
Well, maybe I did.
Oh, yeah.
But the first one was pretty scary. The horse and the mud and...
Yeah. But the second
rock
one was
monster.
scarier.
Is the second one with
I
Jack
think.
Black? Is that the one that he's in?
What?
Jack
Black
Black is
in
in either
Neverending
the
Story
second or
too?
the third one is like some punk guy that's like bothering the main kid.
Weird.
Yeah, it's really bizarre.
Well, yeah, you make me a list and I'll chug through it. My wife's not going to watch them, so I'm going to have to just wait till she goes to bed and watch it like right before I go to bed. So you're going to get me at the peak time when I shouldn't be watching these. So yeah, make me a list and I'll get into it. And the reason I brought it up is obviously we've had some horrific things happen in the first few eps. I would say we're about to close in on some pretty terrifying stuff. And it's going to run the gamut of humor, of horror to body horror to like jump horror to the kind of thing that I'll say it and then seconds later you'll be like, oh God, no. And so I'm glad you guys or 3/4 of you are huge horror buffs because
Troy,
I think you'll enjoy this.
If I can ask you a question, Troy, as the keeper, when you get into these moments, and we've had little hints of them so far, obviously, as someone who has no frame of reference for watching any of this type of shit on screen, are you like pissing yourself? Like, how are you surviving? How are you like picturing it?
I don't know, because I feel like I do horror pretty decently. I run the live show that we do is horror, and I think it's because I know how to play on people. So watching you guys, I know how to get you right there. Yeah. But I don't know. I have no frame of reference other than like a collective unconscious of years of watching moments and then extrapolating things from there. Yeah. Even like cartoons that make fun of famous horror movies that I've never seen. Like I get the essence of what was happening there. I'm like, I don't need to see Nightmare on Elm Street to understand, a couple Treehouse of Horrors is all you really need to understand the full gamut of horror. But this should be a fun one tonight. I'm really excited. Let's just jump right in. And we'll start with a luck roll before I forget to see if you recover some luck because you're going to need it. So once again, you roll a D100. And if you roll, I just rolled a 100, by the way, when I said that. If you roll over your luck score instead of under, you get 1D10 back in luck.
All right.
Any winners today?
Yes. Not me.
Okay,
which is good. I didn't win last time, so I'm happy to win.
Okay. Give yourself a D10. Rob, I feel like you haven't hit one yet. Did you get one tonight?
No, I got one. Before, and I'm saying that in order to stall while I open up my character sheet. What else you guys want to talk about?
What my luck score
while he's
is.
doing that, I can just say that is a wonderful prelude of things to come. When I rolled my luck roll, the only roll where rolling high is good, I rolled a 1.
Nice.
I thought I rolled a 10, and I was like, well, all my rolls are going to be crap tonight.
It's going to be one of those nights.
I rolled under as well.
You rolled under as well. All right. Kate, what'd you end up getting?
I got an 85 over 51 it was, and then I rolled a 6 for...
6?
Yep.
Nice. Great. Well, this means it's a good night to spend some luck, everybody, because then you can have a better chance of getting it back next week. So last week, God, I can't even remember where we started because we cover so much ground in these episodes. But I know that eventually you left Puno behind. The 4 of you, Jackson Elias and Augustus Larkin, traveling with mules and whatnot in the direction of the lost ruins. Says it's going to take you about 3 days of travel to get there. You're no longer on that nice road. You're no longer in cars and sleeping in hotels. You're sleeping out under the stars, and you're having to deal with animals and just hills and whatnot. At least the weather's a little bit nicer than it was in Lima, but it's backbreaking. And, there's just an uneasy feeling. You don't know what you're getting into. And Jackson Elias is worried about what Augustus Larkin's true motives in all of this may be. The first night, you are taking shifts, making sure no trouble befalls the camp, and you hear a noise, and as you go in the direction of that noise, you find one of your, was it a donkey or a mule? I think it was a donkey, right?
It was an ass.
It was an ass. Has been sucked dry completely. Looked exactly like Trinidad Rizzo did, except it was your donkey. And then you hear a little scuffle in the trees. Are you being followed by Karisiri? Why wouldn't they just attack you? The next day, you're about halfway through the day or so, and you hear sounds of gunfire from up ahead and over a hill. So you decide to go off in that direction. You climb the hill and you look down and you see a man just standing over what looks like a young boy. So you head over there, and as you do, you see the young boy has one of those disc-shaped holes on his chest. He's lying in a pool of his own blood. It looks like he's been sucked, but not completely sucked dry, like the donkey and the poor graduate assistant. But as you go up, the man turns his gun on you because he thinks you are Kari Siri, come to finish them off. Now, he is just speaking Spanish, and Jackson is trying to translate. But this is a very tense situation, and Jackson is basically looking to you to try and get out of this. He can translate. Does anybody want to do like a charm, a fast talk, or maybe even a persuade here that Elias could tell back to them? Because this guy... he looks at Vaughn and Carter especially, because they're white men. They are the men of legend that are Kari Siri. And he's got a double-barreled shotgun. He could just start firing at any second. Who's good at this?
Yeah, I got some.
Not me.
I got some charm. I got some persuade.
I do too, but I feel like you might have more. Like you are the charm person. But
Yeah,
would we get? Should you maybe not talk because they think that you're the Kari Siri?
No, that's good. That'll really blow their mind because they're gonna
Maybe.
be like, oh, this guy. I thought he was a vampire. He's awesome.
Yeah, totally.
All right.
What do you say to Jackson?
Yeah, Jackson, listen. I want you to translate exactly what I say. The gift of gab can cross any language barrier.
Guy's like,
Okay, ready? Hola!
Yes.
That's, I know Spanish. It's the one word I know.
hello.
We are not Karasiri. Gotta tell him that.
And he translates.
No, I want to hear you, Troy, speak in Spanish. Every single thing that I say. No, don't do that.
Yo, no soy, Kari Siri. I don't know Spanish at all.
Nailed it. No, you nailed it.
Yeah, that's actually it. I think.
Is that right?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not a Kari
soy,
Siri.
Kari Siri. I'm not. We're not.
Nosotros.
Nosotros. So, wait, you are Kari Siri? Boom, boom, boom. Sorry, they let the keeper translate.
Second of all, let me just say to you, sir, I love this ensemble that you're currently wearing. Sort of a worn pant, workman-like. I think that's very, the fit is nice. Go tell him all that.
Jackson looks at you like, all right, and he translates that, and the guy looks, he kind of taken aback, but then he points the gun right at you, Carter.
Yeah, whoa. It's a fabulous gun now that I see it in this new light. Looks great. We want to help. We want to help you.
He translates.
Uh-huh.
Give me a charm roll. You think that's your best out of these? Charm,
I think
fast
that's
talk?
my best bet.
Okay.
I got it, but just barely. 68 under 75.
68 under 75. The guy speaks back to Jackson, and then Jackson says he doesn't know what we mean, help. What would we do to help, he says.
And then Carter's just like, does anyone have any kind of medicine? I can't remember. Does anyone have any way to stabilize this poor young man?
Yeah, first aid, medicine.
I think all we have is
some first
heroin.
aid.
First aid, I could do that.
Who's got a better first aid?
Ooh, mine's a 30. It's not that great, but I could try.
Mine is also 30.
I can't find mine right now, but I don't think it's higher than that.
Um,
Norm, maybe you should approach.
Was there, Troy, was there something in the book about combining skills or something like that? They could be different?
Yeah, that's a good point. Sometimes a check I'll be like, you can give me medicine or healing, and either one will work. Other times it's you need a medicine and a healing. But yeah, combining, I know with group rolls, it's whoever has the worst rolls, and that does it for the group. But this would be one person just trying to help the young boy that's bleeding out. Now, Vaughn, you could go over there, but he seems to be most suspicious of you and Carter.
If someone's going to offer assistance, if someone's going to offer assistance, I think it may as well be you. And Vaughn, I think, will raise his own weapon up and sort of like, maybe even like take a knee, like I'm just pantomiming that he's no threat.
Okay. What do you do, Feyruz?
Just kind of dig through my belongings for what I assume exists a first aid kit. And you said that he was, what was the exact wound? Like, what am I looking at?
You're looking at a wound that is almost identical to the one that you saw in Trinidad Rizzo. Like, there's just a gaping hole on his chest that is leaking blood. And as you walk over towards the boy, he's just babbling in Spanish, like, and Jackson is listening. He's like, he's saying he's afraid that the bite is going to turn him into a monster as well.
I'll very carefully try to at least just stop the bleeding. I rolled an 8.
Ooh.
Oh, baby! That's a hard success.
8 under 30.
Nice.
Yeah, that's
That is a
is that
hard
an
success.
extreme?
That,
yeah, that's
no,
hard.
extreme is a 6. But
very
I
hard.
did
Wow.
get a hard success.
Jeepers, you could even spend luck to get an extreme success,
Yes,
but don't
I will
save
do
you.
that.
Worth it?
No?
You want to do
Yeah.
that? All right, that's great.
Yeah, let's
you
do
know
that.
what? That's huge. So, yeah, you take a shirt and just stuff it in the hole to staunch the bleeding. I mean, you're able to tap into something, and work some field medicine on this kid. And the dad is like, he's got his gun trained on Carter and Vaughn, more so on Carter now that Vaughn has given himself up, and he's just kind of, he's watching you and watching the men, watching you and watching the men, and then he puts his gun down and he drops to his knees next to the boy, and he says something. He's just kind of talking to himself and talking to the boy, and Jackson says, that's his son. This is his son. And the man turns to you and starts speaking, but he realizes you don't speak Spanish, so he talks to Jackson and explains, like, they own an alpaca farm nearby, and one of the animals got out, and they were just looking for him. And while they were out here, 2 people, a man and a woman, at least they thought they were people, rushed them from the forest, just came at them out of nowhere. One of them tackled his son, Domingo, to the ground and ripped his chest open, just started tearing at his chest with his mouth. Before he could do too much damage, the father, Julio, shot his gun into the air. It's like a warning shot, and that scared them both, and they scattered. And he points in the direction of where they went, which is basically the direction that you're heading. You've kind of come off your original path to come check on them, but the direction that he's pointing is the way that you're going, anyways, toward the pyramid.
Hey guys, wasn't there an alpaca farmer was the one who was sort of the source of this whole goose chase we're on right now? Didn't Larkin say he heard something from an alpaca farmer?
That was the way of it, yes.
Oh.
And I doubt he's the only alpaca farmer in the country, but...
Yeah, Larkin, not Larkin, but Jackson is like, yeah, no, there are many alpaca farms here. It is a bit curious, but probably a coincidence. Oh, Larkin's coming now. And if you look down the hill, you see Larkin. You guys kind of bolted off, and Larkin is just coming from behind. It's like, what is going on up here? We can't take time away from the track. What happened? And then he crests the hill and sees this. Oh my. What happened here?
Oh.
Devil of a thing, old man. Seems as though someone bolted out of the forest. Two souls just burst out of the underbrush and gave this poor young man this bit of the suck. Never heard of such a thing.
No. There are all sorts of creatures out here in the wilderness. It wouldn't
I'm not talking about
surprise me.
creatures, Larkin. I'm talking about a man and a woman.
A man and a woman did this. Mr. Villas, I know we've been away for some time, but now I fear that you may be slipping.
While I'm watching
Joy-
this, can I roll a psychology roll on Larkin to see, like, if maybe there's like a tell that, like, he's not being truthful or something?
That's great.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, here we go. Please, please, please. 47 under 50.
Nice.
Wow. Yeah, so he has a very odd reaction to this. And you do get the sense that he knows something he's not saying. Well, is the boy all right? Whatever the thing was that did this to him, is he all right?
No,
The wound is staunch thanks to Miss Gibran's quick work.
I did my best to stop the bleeding, but I think that he might be all right if he gets some rest. Again, we're very much not trying to divulge that we know anything at this point. According to him, it was a man and a woman. You know, these parts could be very dangerous, as you said.
Yes, well, I suppose there are all manner of creatures here. I hope no one is trailing us. This was my fear all along, that others would find about this route. If it was indeed a man and woman now, then yes. Yes, maybe this does make sense. Maybe they thought they were us. Well, quick thinking there, everyone, to save these innocent people. And he speaks to the man in Spanish. And the man looks back at Larkin, kind of double takes, because Larkin looks terrible. And the guy speaks back to them, and Jackson and Larkin convey to you that, like, he's so thankful for saving his son, but he needs to bring him home. If you'd like to join them for some rest, he would be happy to offer his home instead of sleeping out of the stars, because he knows there's not much civilization around here. And Larkin is like, no, thank you. We cannot. We need to press on. Were we to go here, it could slow down our arrival at the pyramid. Of course, we want to make sure that the boy is okay.
Is it worth us sort of trying to find out from the father here about the pyramid? One of you guys, that Carter's just like, do you want to double check with him that we're heading in the right direction? What his thoughts are on the place where we're going right now?
Sure. I mean, maybe if Jackson and I can just escort them through the clearing, see them, quote, see them on their way, unquote, and at that time peel off with the father and son, quiz them a little about what they know about the area.
Okay. And Jackson smooths that out. Augustus is amenable to it. And so, yeah, you help him up. You have to wait a little while for this kid to kind of get his bearings, but with the extreme success, Feyruz, just nailed it. He's got some color back in his cheeks, and the father is really desperate to get the boy home and away from here because he's worried that this man and woman are going to come back. So you kind of escort them away from where all of you are standing. And what is it that you want Jackson to ask them?
Give them a sense of our current route and where we're headed. Listen up, man. Are we being led toward this pyramid, and just what sort of a place are we going to? There are all sorts of fantastical stories about this place.
Jackson translates and maybe adds his own question, and the man explains back and is gesturing a lot with his hands, pointing in the direction of where you're heading. Jackson nods, and the man kind of basically is carrying his son and profusely thanks both of you and then walks away. And Jackson says he has heard tell of this pyramid. There are many people around here that have heard rumors of it. But he has never seen it and does not travel that far in that direction, for that area is cursed. However, these Karisiri that attacked him, he said that they went in that direction as well. And there have been rumors that other Karisiri go there and return. They are the only ones that go in that direction and come back.
So there's a large group of them?
Jackson maybe comes back and everyone's making their way back to the camp, and Feyruz gets caught up on this, and he's like, my initial estimates were that there was maybe 20 of them tops around this area. If they're all congregating at this pyramid, that could be trouble.
Yes. They seem to be different ages. And different... This is completely different from what we were initially told.
You're quite right, Ms. Gibran. They don't all seem to share the physiognomy that we were told to expect out of these blighters. Where the hell is this Larkin leading us, and for what purpose? This is starting to look less like an expedition or an exploration and more like a trap.
Keep your voice down. He is not being truthful. You could tell when he was playing dumb. He knows more than he's letting on. I am starting to wonder, are we going there for gold? Why are we going? Why are we needed?
Why were they attacked and not us? Do you think that he knows we're being tracked because he knows who is following us?
Are they... I am very scared for when we arrive.
Jackson chimes in. It's like, it is strange. Are they leaving us alone because he's with us? But why does he need us for? Why didn't he just take us out if that were the case?
Yeah,
What
why did they
part
only
do
go
we
after?
play?
Why'd they only go after our ass?
Yes. It's short work of our ass, as if to prove that if we were to depart, then we'd be next.
Yeah. Well, from here on out, we gotta guard our asses.
Oh, we'll all be watching each other's asses very well. But
Or it's our ass.
Yes.
Sis.
I mean, I've grown accustomed to my ass, small as it is.
Look, everyone's comfortable with the size and relative comfort of their ass, but minus, of course, the one that's been sucked to bits.
Just dead ass.
Yes.
Don't talk about my ass that way.
Well, that's assuming it was your ass that got the sucking. I don't know, we haven't really surveyed the damage. So much to say that if we are being protected, or they're leaving us alone because Larkin is with us, then that perhaps dissuades me from putting a bit of muscle to him to make him tell us everything he knows before we arrive. I, for one, am finding it rather hard biting my tongue when he's lying to my face.
So what if
What
we
choice
did that?
do we
He's weak. Yes. What choice?
Let's shake him down on the streets. If you know somebody knows something, and you're about to put your ass on the line,
No,
Then
no,
you-
don't
But if
forget.
we're being followed, and they're possibly his allies, then it's very dangerous. I mean, this is the whole reason why we weren't leading on that we knew anything.
It is,
Quite
but
right.
he's also the only one that knows where this is. I don't disagree that a time may come when we're going to need to confront him, and I also think we shouldn't wait until it's too late. But we need to know we can get there first. I trust Nyara to lead us. These are just general directions. If we confront him and shit goes down, we're lost in the middle of nowhere.
well, we know where the farmer is, right? We know where that direction if we ever needed to. But yeah.
Yes.
Larkin's like, are you coming? Come on,
Oh.
I've got the animals. Let's keep moving.
Okay, I
So you
guess
press
Right,
on.
old man.
we'll wait one more night.
Yeah.
Yes.
Press on throughout the rest of the day. It's uneventful, but maybe we just see these scenes of you guys trudging, and you're hot and you're sweaty and you're using your machete to cut through brush and whatnot, and all the while you're just watching Larkin, who's kind of at the head of the pack. And he's getting increasingly more agitated the further you go, the closer you get to your destination. But the second night passes uneventfully, and you wake up on day 3 with the assumption that today could be the day you reach these ruins. If this pyramid is where Larkin believes it to be, where Nyara believes it to be, you are closing in on your destination. So you get up with probably a solid sense of dread and apprehension, maybe a little excitement. Jackson is feeding into the excitement part, even though he understands that you could be walking into your death. He lives for this stuff. Get about halfway through the day, and everybody give me a spot hidden.
Ooh,
Ooh, I rolled a 5 under something very high. Hold on.
oh,
That's
nice.
extreme.
Yeah, 5 under 75.
Yeah, that's
That is
beyond extreme. Beyond
nuclear.
Rangoon. Nuclear, that should be a new category. Did anybody else pass or get a hard success?
I got a 15 under 50.
Okay, that's a
I
hard
got a-
success.
Sounds hard.
I got a 15 under 75, which is another extreme success.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
Whoa.
right there. And Rob, Carter?
No, Carter, true to form, notices nothing.
Notices nothing. Well, Margo and Vaughn and Favorus, for all intents and purposes, the three of you notice this about maybe half a mile away or so as you're moving along what looks like it might have been a path long ago, but now it's grown over. It's a lot easier than walking through the forest. You see about a half a mile or so away in the tall grass along the valley floor, because you're kind of moving through peaks and valleys, and where you're walking right now, you can kind of see down into the valley below. You would never go down there because it just wouldn't make sense. But you look down there as you're walking, and you see two people walking in this tall grass. They have this like loping gait, and there's really no reason to be traveling that way when there's less dense areas to walk, like the one that you're walking on. And Noura, with your extreme success, you're able to see something that's so strange that the others don't pick up on. They both appear unusually bloated, like their stomachs they look distended. There's something very strange about the shape of their body. So you look down, about a half a mile away, but there's something odd shaped. Like, are they both pregnant? One of them looks like a man.
Without verbally communicating, I want to gesture towards everybody in our party, besides Larkin, to like look towards where I'm looking and point out, using gestures only, what I'm seeing.
Yeah, and everyone but Carter saw this, so
Yeah, Carter's just going like, she's in the jailhouse now. He's just like singing and moseying.
Fairuz is able to look at Margo and Vaughn, and you make eyes with each other. You all see it. Maybe you get Jackson's attention, and Jackson's like, gives you a look like,
is this our chance to confront Larkin a bit more? We point them out.
What are you guys talking about? Are you talking about me?
Shh.
And I'll gesture towards what I'm seeing to, sorry, Rob, what was your character's name again?
Carter Tillinghast.
Yes.
The most unaware human being on the planet.
But so charming.
Yes. Happy as a damn clam.
Life imitates art, really.
Yeah, Carter, you look down there and you maybe triple take and you see these two. I mean, it's so strange.
That dude's
It
pregnant.
just makes no sense to be walking that way.
The hell?
Do we tell Larkin that we see them?
Yeah,
Maybe an interesting means of gauging his reaction.
we can say, "Oh, they're here for the treasure," or whatever.
Okay.
All right. Yes.
Yes.
Jackson nods like, go ahead, Vaughn.
I say, old man, have you noticed we're not alone?
What's that, Mr. Villiers?
Just pass your eye down the valley. Seems that there might be another party making tracks towards our pyramid. What?
Larkin looks down there. Well, now would you look at that?
Do you think they're?
People. What's that?
Do you think that they're a threat?
Well, they, what's that, a man and a woman, perhaps. They match the description that those farmers said. So if it is them, then yes, I believe they could be a threat. A physical threat, or a threat to our expedition.
What do you propose we do?
Well, look at where they are. It's not like we could go down there. That would be rather dangerous. We'll never make it up to them through all this brush. I mean, what business is it of ours? I say we stay on the path and make it to the ruins before nightfall. And from our vantage point, we could watch them all along the way. But one wrong step trying to chase them, we could fall down into the valley below and break our legs. What would you do?
Well,
What would you do?
it's hard to say because all of our actions are based on what you've told us about this place.
Yes, it's true. You've had to take quite a leap of faith, and for that I am quite appreciative. I certainly don't want anyone to come to harm here, but that's another reason not to go running after these two strangers.
I mean, it seems like we're just going to meet them at the pyramid. They seem to be heading in that direction, just down in the valley for some reason, where all the brush is.
Yes. Yes, they are indeed.
So it seems as though we're going to converge. These two lines shall inevitably intersect. We've already seen what they're capable of back in that clearing. I saw that bloody hole in that boy's chest just as well as you did.
Well, I am not particularly open to sharing our spoils with them. But I would hate for it to come to violence. If they attacked those farmers, what would they do to us? How about we stay close to the edge of the valley here and just watch them from a distance? And we'll keep an eye on them and see if they're heading where we're heading. If they split off at any point, then I will ask for your suggestions on what to do next. But it seems our destination is in a similar area. I mean, their course is parallel to ours.
Do you think they know where they're going? Or that they're just following us? That being the case, why should we make ourselves seen?
Well, I don't think they're following us. They're half a mile ahead, unless they lost our trail. All the more reason for us to watch them if they don't know where we are. Well, I'm open to suggestions, but I think it's best that we continue the course and we will hit the ruins while there's still light. If we head down there and lose our way, not only will we not make it there by tonight, we could make it there by tonight and it would be nightfall.
All right.
Very well.
Let's keep our eye on him. And Carter wants to sort of like drift back to sort of just keep an eye on Larkin as we make our way forward. I don't want Larkin behind us when we get to the pyramid.
Okay. And
Fayruz, not Fayruz. Margo leans over to Fayruz and like whispers, I just feel like we are walking to our deaths. I don't know what to do. This feels bad and wrong.
It does feel like we're being led to slaughter. This is such a I don't trust any of it.
No.
But at this point, if we are being followed, and if they do know Larkin and are aligned with him, that maybe this is our only way to stay safe into the meantime.
we need to keep our eyes peeled right now, even if they're with Larkin. We still have the numbers. But if we get close and notice more, then we turn around and we run.
Yes. Until then, what hangs in the balance is whether we are his hostages or he is ours.
Did we note that we had binoculars with us? Didn't we roll to see if we had that and passed or failed? Because if we do, I would like to, as we're continuing walking, keep a harder eye out there, down there, see if there's more.
Yeah, I feel like you failed the binoculars roll.
I think that's true.
I feel like that's what I remember.
That makes me so sad.
I'll just use my regular eyes.
Why would you?
Did we check to see if we had a bazooka? Did we do the bazooka roll?
I mean, that's the fun of the luck roll, because a pickaxe, you'd obviously have rope, you'd obviously have binoculars. I probably should have just gave it to you, but it was more fun with the luck roll, so you forgot to pack it. But you do have a beat on them. And obviously, Fayruz has 20/20 vision, was able to see the shapes of their bodies. What is going on here?
There's something about fat. What? Isn't
they're full of our donkey juice right now.
Wait.
I think I'm pretty clear. I think that's. I don't know how better to phrase
I know it's mad. In hushed tones, I know it's mad what Tillinghast is saying, but for all intents and purposes, I believe the man might be right. It could very well be full of our donkey juice, that juice, of course, being fat.
True.
Not to be confused with the giggle juice, which is our safe word, right? Duns the mouse.
Right, yes. But do you remember there was that worm that tried to enter through my mouth, and what if that has something to do? What if the worm is growing?
What if they burst?
Because did it very much, Troy, did it look very much like it was like a baby bump, or there was all around rotundness?
It looked more baby bumpish, definitely swollen around the stomach area. And Larkin might remind you, he's like, well, the legend is that they were fat-sucking vampires.
Yeah.
My whole life is being turned upside down. There's no way any of this can be real. I still believe that there is some logical explanation to this, even though I've seen what I've seen.
Yes,
Let's press on.
keep watching them. Press on. Keep your hands on your weapons.
Right.
So you travel along this upper hill area, looking down into the valley below at these two figures. Still about a half a mile ahead. You start to gain on them a little bit, but you know if you really wanted to catch up with them, you'd have to start making checks, honestly, mechanically. And if you failed those checks, bad things could happen, or you could just get lost, which could be equally bad. So you watch them, and they're always within your sight. From time to time, they'll look up, and you're like, are they looking at me? You get that sense, like, are they looking? Can they see? Just keep going. And the day presses on. But eventually the path narrows and starts to climb up the side of a small peak. And I mentioned how Larkin was getting more and more agitated as the day goes on, and this final leg of the journey, you can see him just like looking all around, like darting glances everywhere. He's coming off a little manic as you get closer and closer to the pyramid. And as you get to this hill and this path, Larkin's like, yes, this is it. All right. This is what we have to do. We have to climb this somehow and get around to the top. Either way, the path forward is too precarious to get the animals up there, unless any of you are trained in animal handling or mountain survival. So we're going to have to leave the animals here and make this climb, and you are going to lose sight of these people very, very soon. And you see that, like, as you've approached the hill, the valley has started to fall out of sight as well. But now you've got to climb this area and leave the animals below. What do you guys want to do here?
Don't the animals have our gear? What will we stay in?
We'll take what we need and make trips up and down if need be. But the animals will never survive. Going up here, one wrong step, they'll break their leg and we'll have to do the unthinkable. I need them to make sure that we can get everything back. The riches, the gold. There's important carrying stuff to the pyramid as they are carrying stuff back. We can take what we need.
And what if they get attacked like one of them got attacked last night or 2 nights ago?
Well, if you had asked me earlier, I would say someone could stay down here with the animals, but with those two things lurking about and who knows what else, if someone has to go, I'd rather it be the animals. I don't know. I don't want anyone else to miss out on this experience. I say we tie them here and we come back and check on them. That's the best we can do.
All right.
And you're
Are
saying
we spending the night at the top of the hill?
I really don't know what to expect, Miss Sauer. Possibly. There could be too much to dig out in one day, and we'll need to spend a couple days here. We have enough ration for 3 days, and then the 3-day journey back. We should... I don't know. I really don't know what to expect, but I want to get there before they do.
So you're saying we climb this thing, once we get to the top, we're going to see this temple.
I believe that once we crest this mountain here, yes, we should see something on the other side.
How long does it seem like it'll take to get to the top that he's pointing to?
It's a little precarious. Like, you don't think if you make a mistake you'll fall unless you fail miserably. But it could take about 15 minutes to get to the top, you think.
Well,
okay.
then
Okay, it's
why
not
don't we
really
just send a couple people up there, or just Larkin, I don't know, and see if that's what we're going to do before we make the decision to ditch our animals?
I don't know that I want him out of my sight. But, yeah.
Larkin, you're going to be able to make this climb, man? You seem a little, iffy.
Yes, no, I know my health is not the best, but I've come too far to give up now. Yes, I shall be able to make this climb. Who's coming with? Come on. And he starts to go.
All right. Machete up.
Everybody machete up. Does some of you want to stay and some go with Larkin and then holler down, or do you all just want to go?
I'm going to go.
Okay. Jackson wants to go. He's like, I'll go with them. Margo, Vaughn, do you want to stay here and then we'll holler to you, or do you want to come up with us?
I feel like someone should stay.
Okay, well, here's what we can do.
I won't let you stay
hear-
up. No.
If you hear shots fired, help. Come help.
It might be too late.
It might be.
Same here.
Same.
Same.
Yes. Fraulein Sau and I will stay by the animals until we hear that the coast is clear. And we shall stay down here and do likewise.
All right.
Survey the coast and all that. What?
It's a real Sophie's Choice here, which is reference to a movie that hasn't come out for decades. Also, what are movies? I'll...
Carter, what are you doing?
How about I strike a middle ground, you know? I'm gonna let you guys start going up a bit, chill, you know, have a ciggy, and then I'll start, so there's someone that's sort of like a relay in between.
Oh.
That works.
Yeah.
Jackson's like, good. All right, let's go. So Fayrouz, you're going with Jackson and Larkin. Give me a climb check. This is really to see how long it's going to take you. Not if you fumble, that's a different story. But you don't have to worry about falling off the side of a cliff. It's just tricky.
Really wish I would have put some more points in that. Right about now, I failed.
Okay.
I can't even use luck points at this point for that.
Yeah, that's all right. It's really just to see how long it takes. And for you, you're struggling to get to the top. Whereas Larkin, in spite of his bad health, scrambles up there pretty quickly. As does Jackson Elias with a 24. So he's close to Larkin. But now you guys notice that like Fayrouz is lagging behind and the three of you are with the animals and Jackson is alone with Larkin. Do any of you change what your plan is here?
I'll go try to get up now to get at least alongside Fayrouz.
Okay, go ahead and give me a climb check.
That's probably going to be great. Don't do a lot of climbing in the Northeast. Oh, I got a 4. Hey, all right.
Oh.
4.
Nice.
4 under 20.
Okay, 4 under 20. All right, so that's an extreme success, I believe.
That's
10,
that's a 5th value.
Yeah.
5th value. Okay, exactly extreme. All right, so I'm going to give you the option. You could like walk up to Fayrouz and be like, "You're all right," and then go ahead to catch up with them if you want, or you can just meet with Fayrouz and both of you go together.
I'll kind of get up alongside Fayrouz, like, "You all right?"
How is he that fast? Ugh, he's just constantly sweating over getting up to go get a drink of water. I don't understand how he's climbing that fast.
You're spending too much time around them books, honey.
Wow. Okay.
I'm sorry about that. That just came out. I'm sorry.
I don't know if you want to say that around somebody with a firearm.
She puts a shot in Carter's leg.
Just shoot the pinky toe. Just the pinky toe.
That does kind of work. She just kind of like clicks it. She's like,
Yeah.
I just, it's just,
I'm like, what was that? Click.
it's so humid here that I feel like I'm not thinking straight, especially when I talk to dames.
Right. And I just kind of gesture with my gun for him to like keep walking.
I'll go first. I'll go first.
Right.
All right, so Carter, after tripping over himself, makes it up the mountain with ease. So you get there first, and Vaughn and Margo hang back, and then
Seems as killing us as being his charming self as usual.
You can't even hear us. You're just seeing me gesturing.
Echoing down the... or just judging your gestures. Yeah.
You hear Favors' gun, the safety go up. You guys make it to the top, and you start to clamber around the edge of the peak, and you see a narrow path leading down now from the top of the peak that you were just climbing. Where Margo and Vaughn are, you see now that those two people are gone. And in fact, as you sat there debating how you guys were going to deal with this mountain, they're lost to sight at this point.
God.
But you get up there, and Larkin is just wide-eyed, Feyruz, when you get up there and look at him. Because down at the bottom of this path is a plateau that overlooks a deep wind-blown valley. The surrounding land is arid, and there's no plant life anywhere. It's barren and dusty, except for a few ruins scattered across the basin. These man-made structures are the only thing that is breaking up the monotonous brownish gray of the dirt. Almost as if it dropped 10 degrees in temperature the minute you crested the hill. But despite the cold, you all that are up there notice an increasing number of flies in the air, just buzzing about. And there's a smell of like rotten meat on the air wafting up from the valley below.
It smells similar to our first impression of Mr. Larkin there.
It does. You wonder if it's just the wind catching Larkin, or no, that seems to be coming from the valley, and it's a little overpowering.
And this is the same...
We cannot see them?
See who?
I'm sorry. Not. It sounded like I was talking about the flies. Larkin and... what's his name?
Jackson?
Jackson.
Yeah.
No, you catch up to them. They're there as well, and Larkin is just standing there wide-eyed. What were you going to say, Feyruz?
I was going to say, is this valley the same valley that we saw, overlooking the same valley that we saw those two people? Or is this like a different orientation of space?
So when you guys got to the hill that you needed to climb, the valley sort of wound around, and so you lost sight of them. And you think it's possible that it's wound around, that they've come to this from a different way. Now that you're standing on top and looking down, you see that there are other ways one could approach the ruins. But, yeah, right now you're just taking in this view from above, this sort of bird's eye view of the ruins. There's a stone wall surrounding the whole area. It's difficult to tell how tall it once was because it's mostly buried in silt, but the portions that are still visible protrude from the ground at various heights from like 6 to 12 feet. Looks like because of the silt deposits, it would be pretty easy to climb over, but there's also a big rectangular doorway flanked by huge stones and topped with some sort of carving, like right at the end of this path leading downward from the top of the mountain. The carving looks particularly interesting, but you can't make it out from where you're standing.
Well, I would like to get closer to it to see what these carvings are.
Okay. And what about Margo and Vaughn? Are you waving them up, or are you...
Yeah, I think this is not a thing to go in alone.
Yeah.
Carter kind of scrambles up to try to... Can they see him at the top, sort of?
Yeah, if you look back behind, you guys can look up, and through all the trees that are dotting this, you can kind of see a chunk of Carter.
Okay.
Carter's
Okay.
like, come on, just come on. Let's
I say goodbye to the rest of our asses, because I don't think we're going to see them again. And
Yes,
head
pat-
up the hill.
Gently pat the donkey on the nose, pat the ass, and then old Hazar Balthazar, and then
Don't
up
worry,
we
we'll
go.
be more attractive targets at this point.
All right, so now all of you see what Augustus and Jackson and Augustus, Jackson, Fayrouz, and Carter saw. And now
I'm wondering, now that I see it, does it look like that vision I saw when I looked into the mirror of that thing? Mask? Was it a mask?
It was. It's like a mirror mask. Like it looks like a golden mask with a mirror on the other side. So yeah, Margo, you get up there and you see from your vantage point beyond the walls, a stepped pyramid, but it's only like 3 stories high. It's very, very small.
So not quite deja vu.
Not quite deja vu. The vision you saw was of a massive pyramid.
Okay.
This is not that.
Is it possible for Carter to sort of get the attention of his compatriots here, or even whisper to them? Is like Larkin so entranced by what he's seeing that we can kind of have a quick...
Yeah, for sure.
All right, yeah. Carter's like, listen, if we're going to shake him down, it's right now.
I thought this would be bigger?
I don't care how it smells. This dude is up to some shit. Our asses are dying. Like, it's time. Like, it's time.
This is it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's time to find out what this guy knows. I'm not going any further.
Okay.
What are these flies doing? This is gross. Oh, one's in my mouth.
All right. I agree.
Now we can do this the easy way or the hard way. No, that doesn't make any sense. Are we gonna let's rough him up?
What if I just...
You may not-
I'm using a gun. What if I sneak up behind and just, gun to the back?
There we are. No need to come to blows, old man. I think we can be very persuasive without resorting to violence.
Hey, no fun.
And then if he doesn't comply?
Yeah, then he gets a knuckle sandwich for free. On the house.
Gratis.
I'm talking about my fists hitting him in the face.
Yes.
Are we on the same page? Okay.
Yes.
All right, I'll get his
Fayrouz,
attention. I'll get his attention. Larkin. Carter kind of tries to get in front of him to position Fayrouz kind of behind him.
Yes, Mr. Tillinghast.
Listen, sorry to bother you. I know you're enthralled right now.
I just can't believe it. I feel like I've spent all my life waiting for this moment, living in the shadows of my family that thought I would never do anything on my own, and yet now look at me here. We're the only ones that know about this. We are on the precipice of glory and riches. He looks in your eyes when he says riches, the likes of which you cannot even imagine.
Yeah, about that. And then he's kind of like points at Fayrouz.
And Fayrouz, I think you're muted.
Fayrouz has lost her voice.
There you go.
My mic gets possessed and likes to mute itself.
It's added to the tension.
Yes.
I know.
He feels the cold edge of Fayrouz's gun on his back in a click.
What exactly are we getting into? What are you taking us into, man?
Let me take it back a step further, because as you approach him to put that gun on his back, Fayrouz, you notice 2 people inside the walls of the pyramid. And we'll find out who those people are right after this quick word from our sponsor. So I imagine you're walking with the gun out and ready, and then all of a sudden you see two people down there. And one of them is ascending the steps of the pyramid. And like I said, it's only like 3 stories. And the other one is waiting below. When the one climbing reaches the top, it walks over to what looks like a crack in the stone on the top portion, and then it kneels down and just starts vomiting into the crack. And this like white fluid is coming out of its mouth into the crack. This goes on for like a minute or so. And then when it finishes, it goes down to the bottom, and the other one comes up and does the same exact thing. At this point, all of you are watching this, even Larkin. And after they go through this process, you notice that they look much thinner than they did before they purged. And when they finish, they start walking in your direction, but they're behind this wall, and you guys can actually duck down and not be seen. And they walk in the direction of like the front door and then disappear out of sight. You direct your attention to roll 20. This is what you see here. Augustus, Carter, Feyruz, Vaughn, Jackson, Margo, just traveling down this path. And you can see that small stepped pyramid. You can see this crack. And then they walked in the direction of the door at the end of the path. But behind this wall, once they got closer to the wall than where you're standing, they're out of sight, and the door's never opened. Feyruz still has a gun.
All right, what the hell is going on?
I don't know.
I think you do. And then
God's name was that?
Carter just reaches forward and rips open what's his name's shirt. I really ruined the tension there by not remembering his name.
Larkin shirt?
Larkin, thanks.
Listen up, Larkin. You've been
I
saying
meant
a lot
Vaughn
about
Villiers' shirt.
Oh, you see a totally gnarly 6-pack. Yeah. No,
You're ripped,
Do you
bro.
rip his shirt open?
I go to rip his shirt open. I don't
Okay.
know if I have to roll for that.
So what is going on here? And you just rip his shirt open.
Yeah.
And you see the full tattoo, which is, you saw a chunk of it before, but now you see the whole thing, and it just looks like this creature with like, it almost looks like it has a tongue for a head that reaches up into the sky, and it's just this black abomination covering his chest. And he looks at you, he says, "What is the meaning of this, Mr. Tillinghast?"
What is the meaning of that? And I'm like pointing at his chest, and I'm like, what the fuck is that? What the fuck is going on down there? What are you doing to us? Why are we here?
perhaps we should all keep our voices a little...
What the fuck is this? What the fuck is that?
Quite right, Mr. Tillinghast. But as coarse as Mr. Tillinghast's speech is, I dare say he's correct. What the fuck is going on, Mr. Larkin? Who are these people with these distended mouths and this bizarre vomitus into the pyramid we're all seeing? You know a damn sight more than you're telling.
Why would you think I would know this? You're turning on me at the last minute because you want all the gold. Is that what this is?
This is about wanting to stay alive.
You haven't been very forthright with us.
What is that?
You know more than you're letting on. It's painfully obvious. What is wrong with you? What is wrong with your friend who couldn't make it?
All right, listen. I may have been untruthful about my condition. I do have malaria, and it does bother me from time to time, but I have another sickness as well. I have been struggling, I should say, with an addiction to heroin.
Yeah. We know about that.
Oh, you do? Well, I don't know if you really know what it's like. It's terrible, and something that I'm trying to work with. So if I seem like I've been duplicitous with you, or if I've been holding things back, or if I've been pissy with you, it's because I'm going through serious withdrawal, because I understood the stakes of this mission, and I needed to be of my right mind and my right strength, and it's only made things worse, to be quite honest. But now here we are, and you're choosing now to attack me.
Why did you bring us here, sir? In short, why did you bring me here? Who knows very little about the area, barely speaks the language, when by rights you could have taken others more qualified. Well, I desperately wanted to see this, and although now that I'm gazing upon it, I dare say I don't know if I should have been.
Because I don't have the strength to do it myself, all right? Whatever it is we're going to find in there, I can't go after it. I'm too weak.
Well, why not just hire local muscle? Why us? Why put
anyone.
the ad out?
Well, I was worried local muscle would throw me under the bus the minute that we came to this site. I thought people like you had a... Well, great. That's just wonderful. I spent my whole life working on this research, destroyed the notes so that no one would follow me, and it was the people that I brought along that would do this. You, Mr. Hughes, are the one I'm most disappointed with. I felt as if you, of all people, would protect me. It seems as if you're all in cahoots. Is that what this is? Or can we go in there and for once just have a moment unlike any other and discover something that has never been discovered before? Why choose now to do this, to confront me?
We can do this later. You just need one wrong move.
You seem
Do what
pretty...
later?
I have it on good authority from Margo over here that you seemed pretty unperturbed by that young man and his wounds. You know something about this. You know something about the Karisiri.
And we just watched two fat, lumping people barf into the pyramid and leave, and they're not fat anymore, and you want to go in and you don't
still want to
care.
And he's just like, you're hitting him with all these truths, and he's like slinking over and starting to cough, and he's sweating, and he looks dizzy, and then he almost looks like he's going to fall to the ground, and then suddenly his entire demeanor changes. And he like stands up rigidly with no sign of the physical weaknesses that you've seen since the moment you met him. And all this time you've been traveling with him. And a voice emanates from him that is not his voice. And you see his eyes go completely black and pupilless.
Yes.
And a voice comes out and is like, "Why must you continue to push back against this weak vessel? Larkin has failed me for the last time, and now you will suffer eternal torment beyond human comprehension." And as he says that, the ground starts to shake, and Larkin's hands go out to the side, and you see above him like a small tear in the fabric of reality start to form.
What?
I knew that was going to happen.
And we are in a combat book. A little tear in reality is starting to form, and this thing that used to be Larkin is standing there. Everybody give me a sanity roll at this change in his demeanor.
That makes
So just a little
sense.
tear in reality. It's not a big tear in reality.
Just a little tear.
Just a little tear.
Got
Got
it.
it.
Jesus.
I love it. So
Cheese and
did I?
crackers.
We're supposed to roll
cheese and
under, yes?
crackers.
Yeah, you want to roll under.
under sanity.
What? Is that a good huh?
It's a good huh. I rolled a 5 under 60.
Sees a tear in reality, unperturbed.
She's ready for it.
Seen one tear in reality,
one
seen
of
them
these.
all.
Yeah, you've seen them all. Nothing to write home about.
Yawn.
Let me know when it's a full rip. Did anyone fail their sanity check?
Yes, sir.
Oh no, Vaughn.
Vaughn, oh man. Somebody roll up Ross a new character so it's all ready to go when he inevitably loses his mind. All right, you take 1 point of sanity loss.
Just one, eh?
As
Okay.
the more horrible things have yet to happen. Any other fails?
No, I made it.
Got a
Okay.
9.
Whew! Red hot. Let me ask you this. Who, oh God, I didn't think you'd push him. Here we are. Who had their gun out? Be
I
honest.
did.
We're using the honor system.
I did.
Yeah, I know you did. You were ready to shoot.
There's
Larkin.
only one other gun, I think. It's,
I mean, I didn't say that I had it out, but I think it's if we were spraying
I think
this
it's pretty
plot,
clear.
I think it's pretty clear that I would have it out.
I
You guys
had
were
my
planning
machete.
to. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Have my rifle.
Great. So that will affect when people go. Now, well, you know, we're obviously we're learning the rules as we go. And a couple weeks ago, I had said that a readied firearm, you only got that bonus on the round that you attacked. But I guess as long as it's ready, we're learning from our amazing backstage helper Michael that as long as it continues to be ready, you continue to get that bonus. It's only when you need to reload or if you go full automatic and you need to like move or whatnot. That you lose that bonus. So with guns drawn, you probably want to stay as far away from this thing as possible. So let me sort this. Feyruz, you go first. This thing, Augustus Larkin, although he no longer looks like Augustus Larkin, is standing there with just black eyes. Fabric of reality being torn apart. And as you stand there looking, you see this like gray ooze in the split starting to turn into some sort of insect-looking creature. What'd you do?
Don't like it. I am going to shoot at Larson.
All right, you're going to just shoot right at Larkin? All right, give me a
Larkin,
firearms
yeah.
roll.
All right.
no, you said Larson. You have to shoot at Larson.
Larkin comes up. I've got the mule.
All right. Remind me what I roll again.
Space-time continuum.
He was the mule handler,
Yes.
Larson. I have your mules.
Remind me what I'm rolling for. Is it the skill? Firearm
Yeah,
skill?
roll firearm skill, and you want to roll under.
Okay, so I got my handgun rolling under 50. I rolled a 15 under 50.
Oh, hell yeah.
That is a hard success.
Yes.
Well, here's the good news. Larkin is not moving because he doesn't care about your gun. However, give me the damage.
Oh, he doesn't care about my gun. I don't like that at all.
I don't like that one bit.
Still asking for damage. I feel like that's, a
All right.
nice sign.
So it's a 1d6. I rolled a 4. 4 points of damage.
Ooh, 4 points of damage. All right, so you boom fire off your 22, and it hits him like right below the ribs, and you see the bullet go in, and just explosion of blood comes out. But he does not flinch. However, he is bleeding profusely.
All
It is
right.
now Vaughn's turn.
All right, yeah, shots have been fired, so Vaughn, who is somewhat mad at the moment, is seeing this change and levels to the best of his ability his rifle and takes a shot as well.
I don't like any of those noises.
No. And I rolled an 85.
Oh, 85.
Under 90.
Boom! With the rifle. Echoes throughout the valley as he stands there, and you see that tear getting wider and wider, and there's some sort of creature being formed behind the void, and its arms are too long for its body. And now it is Margo's turn.
I think we should run. Do I, by chance, like, I don't know if this is like a luck roll, but like have anything on me to like make something that's like flammable? Yeah. Bear spray.
We have the lamp oil.
We have a lighter.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
just
you
wondering,
do
like,
have-
luck roll, did I bring it up with me?
Yeah, I would say you have it. You have the lamp oil. That's something you would definitely want to bring with you because you assume you're going to be exploring ruins.
Yeah. Okay. Because that's
What do you
like the
wanna do?
only.
Throw it at him?
Yeah. Well, the only thing I can think of is like how you beat. I don't know what that is coming out of the space-time tiny rip that's getting bigger. But like with the Kari Siri, you're supposed to either chop them up
Right.
in little pieces or burn them. So I want to try to throw something burning at what was Larkin.
Okay. All right. So you want to you want to douse him in oil and hope that maybe somebody else will set him on fire? Because I'm just thinking in terms of action economy. Or you're gonna blow the oil while you hold a match.
Right.
You guys
Getting
didn't
him
know I could
covered
do
in
like
oil.
this.
Getting him covered in oil. If you succeed on that toss, then all it needs is someone to light him up.
That's what I'll do, because I don't want to get close enough to try to hack him to pieces. I don't think that is in Margo's nature or anyone's nature. So I'm going to try douse him in oil.
All right. Let me see what you got. What kind of skill do we want to use for this?
I have a...
What's your oil toss skill?
Your pouring
How many
skill.
points?
Well, my
How many
regular
points did you-
toss is 20.
Oh, really?
Oil
You have a regular
toss.
toss?
Or throw.
I've got a throw
Yeah, there's a
skill
throw.
of 20.
Oh yeah. All right, give me a throw. Maybe you'll get in the ballpark if you don't pass and use a little luck.
Maybe I should get a bonus because he's not moving.
No.
Fine.
But I appreciate the games.
25, and I'm using luck to bring that down.
Yes.
Great
Nice.
use of luck there. Okay,
Easiest
awesome.
points I've ever spent.
You've been oiled up.
So, yeah, you take this glass thing and you fire it at him, and it hits him, and just oil splashes all over him, starting mixing with the bullet wound. And then Carter to finish out the round. Carter, what is going on here?
I would like to say that I have a lighter. I feel like everyone in the 20s has got a
Yeah.
lighter, just a Zippo.
Everybody smokes.
You know? Or you can make me
Okay.
roll for that. It's up to you.
No, I think you're a smoker. Everybody smoked back then. It was cool. So what do you want to do? Light it and toss?
Yeah, Carter.
Or do you
Carter
want to
takes-
walk up to him and...
Well, I felt like I was close-ish to him during my finger wagging in his face, which could set me up for disaster going forward here. So, I don't want to. I mean, I don't want to rely on my throwing here. I'd like to just. Is there a way to just like I'm a foot away, just.
Yeah,
Well, you-
I think it's...
You tore his shirt off.
I did.
Do you light
You're
the
like-
shirt?
This could be.
Talk.
Yeah, I mean, if you tore that shirt open, you're standing right there. I think you can just
right.
light him.
Yeah.
The
I mean, to
singes
me-
chest hair.
To me, God, I want to make you roll something, but I
Sure,
also
sure.
think you can just fucking light him. Because we'll say that the difficulty is like trying to get the area that's covered in oil. You know what I mean? Like you're fumbling with this lighter. If he had like oil on his chest covering the tattoo, you're like trying to get that. So that to me sounds like a maneuver, but you can talk me into a skill here if you think it makes sense before I find the actual skill.
Maybe you can charm the oil.
Yeah, I should charm myself into thinking I can do it.
You come here often?
Yeah.
Let's see.
I mean, the only kind of action stuff I've got is brawl.
Yeah, I mean, when in doubt, it kind of falls under brawl.
Just jabbing it forward into his chest.
Yeah, don't think too literal about brawl. Let's go with a brawl roll here.
All right, so
the beauty of rolling is like something really bad or something really good can happen.
So
that's why you want to have
it. We can't just be like, you light the enemy on fire.
Right. Even though it's just standing right there, you're fucking petrified of what's gonna come at you. So you're like,
I mean, I did succeed my sanity.
Trying to get the lighter.
So Carter like takes the lighter out and does the cool like snap. So it goes and like turns on, and he goes, "I never liked you, bro," and then throws the thing. And got
Famous
a 28
last
under 70.
Nice. Heck yes.
All right, so right where the oil covers the this horrible creature on his chest, you hit it, and it lights up. And the fire starts crawling up his chest onto his clothing, and he is just standing there, still black-eyed, hole still ripping. Give me a D4 worth of damage.
Ugh.
That he will take every round that he continues to be on fire.
Got it. Of course, I didn't have that ready to go. 4. Yeah.
4. So 4 from Fairuz's gun. 4 of this persistent fire damage, and the guy is just now lit up like a Christmas tree. And the hole is getting wider, and now you see this creature is like, it kind of looks simian in shape in the way it has these long arms that could touch the ground if it was on the ground, but it has like a cockroach's body with a head that has just eyes going from ear to ear and then long antenna popping out. It is something not of this world, and it's starting to climb through the tear in space and reach out towards Carter. But it is back to Fairuz's turn. Fairuz, what do you do?
Oh, hell no. Okay,
Carter's just like, please.
I'm gonna shoot it. I'm gonna shoot at the thing. The insect thing.
Okay, you're gonna shoot at the thing.
Yeah, can I, how many like shots can I fire in one go?
How many rounds does your thing hold? 3?
Yeah.
Or okay, and you've used 1, so you've got 2 left in there.
Yeah, okay.
So if you take a penalty die on both of those shots, you can fire them both off, but then you'll have to reload next
Here's the
time,
thing.
which will drop you in initiative.
What if Larkin is actually the key to this portal, and if we were to kill Larkin, then maybe everything would...
He's like on fire, and the thing got bigger.
Because he's not dead yet. It's up to you. You shoot at the cockroach.
You know what?
Horror.
Let's. I don't want to make the cockroach mad. Let's shoot at Larkin.
When in doubt, don't make a cockroach mad. They survive.
I'll do one. I'll fire one bullet at him.
Okay.
See what happens.
You can unload your clip too. You just take those penalty die.
Yeah, but then I have to. I don't know. Let's just do one. Let's see what happens.
Okay.
I don't want to do I don't want to take a penalty. I rolled a 40 under 50.
God, you guys are on fire. Not unlike Larkin.
And another 4 points of damage.
So you shot this guy who's on fire and already bleeding out of one bullet hole. Boom! It hits him again, and his body like flinches from the pain, from the shot, and blood just shoots out and covers Carter.
That's in my mouth too!
Just covers his face like a scene out of The Boys. And now it's Vaughn's turn. You see this thing reaching out towards Carter, and Larkin is just standing there.
And just hearing like Vaughn, like, muttering to himself in shame, having just, like, fired into the sky, basically, in the last round. It's like, no, it's not fair. It shouldn't be this difficult. Why, in God's name, would it come to this? And I'll just, I think because that first shot went wild, and because maybe he's a little more cracked than everyone else, he's, like, becoming just, like, staring into this thing that should not be coming out of the sky. And because he's not thinking tactically, takes a shot at that thing.
Okay.
Bummer.
And it doesn't matter because he fails again.
No.
Well, the good news is it's too far away from you to try. Well, you shot at it, so it's not like it could fight back. The best it could do is take cover, but it doesn't seem to be afraid of old Missin' Vaughn.
Why?
Why wouldn't this giant simian cockroach be afraid of me? Okay, let's have some fun.
You know what? I think we're having quite enough fun here. Don't want to have too much fun, you know? Be spoiled.
Oh no, I think we should have as much fun as humanly possible at all times.
Okay, all right.
That's what John Belushi did. And look at him
where
now.
that got him.
All right, here we go. I'm stalling as I look up these, what I'm trying to do here. All right, so Vaughn, if I may call you Vaughn, what I want you to do, what is your POW score?
Y'all, what's my POW?
Your power.
My
right?
POW, yeah, my POW is my power, but what is it though? My POW is, oh shoot, it's 35.
35. Awesome. Give me a POW roll.
Okay.
And you know what, I'll do one too.
I don't like this one bit.
See, when I said that my POW was a 35, well, I rolled a 66.
Jeepers! All right. Somewhere in your mind,
Yes,
you hear a voice
of course I do.
that says, "Join me."
No, slow motion. No.
And your mind is already struggling from the sanity loss over the past week. And you just feel in your mind like you need to kill Feyruz.
No, you don't. No, you don't. It's not spiel. It's indigestion. It's a larpern.
Now, Vaughn, you've already used your action this turn, but walk me through what Vaughn does when he hears this. Join me. Join me.
And it's as though it's like, what are movies even? Vaughn's been to movies. There are movies. And it's as though he's at the picture show, and watching this little Millier Brothers effect in front of him, go, and Feyruz, and this burning person is suddenly just like a burning landscape, and Feyruz is not Feyruz, but like a figure in a pickle helm and a gas mask, like phasing in and out in front of him. It's like, better you than me, old boy. One more Bosch for the boneyard, and that's what's going. That's what's going through. That's what's going through Von Villiers' head right now.
And it's Margot's turn.
Okay. Well, again, I still have a machete. Not going to go up and try to hack at anyone or anything. I was trying to tear apart my character sheet to see if there's anything I can roll that will give me any information, but I don't think that there is, because this seems like a Cthulhu mythos type of thing. So I think. Well, wait. I see Vaughn aim at Feyruz.
Yeah, so Vaughn takes a shot, and then like you know, I would say give me a spot hidden in the moment here to see if you notice this, because there's so much going on. I don't think we'd be like, let me just check on Vaughn, make sure he's not attacking Feyruz. He's never shown any sign of attacking his friends, but let me just take a peek.
I rolled a 7.
All right, so you're looking at this, and you look over at Vaughn, and Vaughn is like pointing his gun towards Feyruz.
Yeah, you just see Vaughn's face is like slack, and the bolt is clink, clink, and turning towards Feyruz Shabran.
I maybe try to yell at you, like, Vaughn, what you doing? Feyruz, look! And probably nothing happens, you're not gonna respond. And do I hack at you is the thing, because that's all I can do.
You know, this might turn into some PvP in this coming around. I'm just gonna...
Or you hack at Larkin, and he dies, and the thing closes, and Vaughn comes back to us.
We don't know.
We don't know.
But
Going.
there are options.
Let me tell you, I'm gonna try to hack at your gun, because it's a big gun, right? Like, I'm
The
gonna hack
rifle,
it
like
out of your
trying to
hands.
smack the butt of the rifle? Okay.
Yeah. So, brawl?
Yeah, do a brawl, and I would say, Vaughn, you have the option to, in this instance, to just kind of dodge, to pull your gun away.
Okay.
So it'll be a brawl against the dodge here.
Here we go. Oh god, I really could use that 7 right now instead of...
Opposed rolls.
62 over 30.
I also
Okay.
failed.
You also failed, but well, it doesn't matter. You both failed, so you go to swing out and just miss wildly. And Vaughn, you see that. And now it is Carter's turn.
Carter's gonna just take a swing at Larkin with this machete.
Okay, pulls out the machete and just hacks at him.
Yeah.
Give me another D4 damage for the burn.
4.
Max damage again. So just the flames continue to lick up his body and take a hack.
Okay, let me just double check. I'm pretty sure I know what this is. Brawl. Nope. 86 over 70. That's cool.
Luck? Huh?
Oh, yeah. Yep, let's burn 16 points.
Let's do it.
16 points of luck turns that into a success, and you hack at Larkin. And as your blade hits him, all in one moment, the rip above him just like starts to close, and Larkin falls to the ground, and just the fire just continues licking and just keeps burning him.
Yeah!
And Vaughn,
That must feel amazing.
Carter's just
Vaughn,
like,
you're just kind of like you feel like you were taken out for a moment, and you're back. You're back here now, and you don't feel like you want to shoot your friends, but you lost time.
Tear the limbs off!
Yeah,
hacking
so
away.
like Larkin looks down, looks dead.
Larkin looks dying.
The limbs must be
flames
hacked.
The flames continue to lick off of him, and eventually, like, the fire goes out, the oil burns up, and he's just laying there, like, crisp, and he's gasping. And he reaches out towards you.
Oh
motioning you towards him.
Carter's just doing
I am
like
not having a worm barfed into my mouth again.
Carter's like, what's that? He's doing like an Ash. He's like, what? Can't hear you over your dying. What do you want to say, buddy?
And he just says, "Thank you for
Oh, sorry.
ridding me of it." And then he dies.
Are you done? Okay, he's done. He's done. Didn't get to say
Chop
you
off the limbs or he's gonna come back. We knew, we were told, this isn't the first rodeo.
Jackson's like, wait. But he was no Karisiri. He was a man possessed.
Possessed.
And you look at him and you see that like even though what's left of him is just like full of bullet holes and machete swings and burnt skin, his demeanor has changed as well. I'm thinking like Anakin at the end of Revenge of the Sith, where he's just like crisp, but there's something very, very different about him. And Jackson's like, I think he was a man possessed. We can and probably should hack off his limbs to be safe, but this is no Karisiri. This is something else. Did you see that rip in space-time?
I didn't.
What the fuck was that?
Kind of hard to miss the rift in space-time, nor the cockroach, a humanoid, reaching for my face.
I thought I'd lost my mind, so you all saw it.
Oh yeah.
Do I remember what happened?
I would say your memory of it is more, isn't like that you were going to kill Fairuz. It was like a friend was embracing you. That's it, but like, that's your memory of it. Like you feel like a friend just embraced you and told you to do something you didn't want to do, but you don't remember what the pieces of it are. Now, Margo, you saw Vaughn turn his gun, but Vaughn looks fine now. Do you say anything to him?
Yeah, I like still probably am standing facing him, holding up my machete, going, "Who are you? Are you the same as Larkin now?"
Steady on, Sour. No. I saw the same damnable things you all did. Bloody useless, though. I kind of set my rifle down. You can see there's just like pouring sweat. Like, you all proved yourselves handily, though. God's sake, Sour, why are you looking at me like that?
You, pointed a gun at me.
What?
You were going to shoot her.
I would never.
But you did. Your whole face changed.
The Mr. Elias perhaps is right. This wasn't one of them. Clearly, that wasn't one of them. It spoke to me, but it wasn't speech. It was like it reached right through me, and it was speaking in the voice of everyone and everything I ever trusted. But now it's gone. I swear to you, it's gone.
How can we be sure that it won't come back?
Well, I suppose you can't be sure, and I suppose I can't be sure either.
You guys just hear like turn around and Carter's just like hacking at the limbs of Larkin.
Hack at the limbs, chop off his limbs, chop off his legs, chop off his head. And now it is just 5 of you here outside of these ruins. And this was an experience. Obviously, you're all kind of trying to rebalance yourself. What do you do now? Jackson is like, well, now we know that that's dealt with. We don't know what other dangers may lay inside. There were 2 other people there. You saw them.
Are there still flies and stuff around? And it smells?
The flies are terrible, and it stinks of rotten meat. Just wafting on the wing, that constant hum in the air.
Who's got a flask on him? Who just wants to take a quick swig? Just to stable the old nerves.
I got you, Mr. Tillinghast.
Oh.
Try this.
Thank you.
Same.
As this is going on, I can I take a closer look at, you said that there was like markings on that wall?
Yeah, so if you walk down towards the gate, you see that outside of the doors is what look like carvings. Now you see is a long head. It's like a carving of a head, like with an elongated cranium. Give me an archaeology roll or something in that area.
Okay.
It's like it looks like it's supposed to be human, but it's so thin and elongated, it's grotesque. Its mouth is too long.
Cryptology or
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah, that's in the ballpark, especially for your character.
Yeah. I rolled a 37 under 70, so a hard success. All right. No. Sorry, that's not a hard success. I just missed
Regular
it.
success.
I'm gonna spend 2 luck to make it a hard success.
To turn into a hard? Okay, great.
Yeah.
So while you don't recognize what its exact significance is, you know that the design of the head resembles the designs of the Tiwanaku people. And there are some differences, but it's definitely Tiwanaku in design. Now, Tiwanaku is a pre-Columbian site in Bolivia. It's close to the border with Peru, and it was discovered by one of the conquistadors. It has been a site of serious archaeological study since the 1860s, so I'm sure you have studied it in your time, but very little is known of its inhabitants because they left no written records. Now, the pendant that Larkin showed you at the Bar Cordano was also a Tiwanaku artifact, as is the golden mirror that Margo looked into under the bed. So as you start to piece this all together, you think that this site was most likely created by this group, the Tiwanaku, and then they left it. It was created for some very specific reason, and then they left it behind. But if a artifact from the Incans was found as well, then maybe, it kind of ties into what Larkin was saying, but now you know that it's not just a conquistador death cult. There's something else going on here. Like the conquistadors came here after the Tiwanaku tribe built it, but you can't figure out what transpired there.
This all connects. Margo, the mask, and this hieroglyph here, and that pendant, the pendant that Larkin had. It's all Tiwanaku. It's all connected, but the conquistadors came here and this was already built. What did they come here for?
Sounds like we're missing a piece.
If this was built before they came here, what do you think this was used for? We just saw those two barf into the cracks.
Well, yeah, right now it's being used as like a barf
Just a barf
bucket.
trough. Yeah.
But and then also the one artifact was Incan. So like,
Yes.
what are we missing? We're missing like chunks of time.
I don't know.
Are we gonna go in there?
Carter's like, what was the story we heard about the what culture did it come from where the cosmic space god landed and then got tricked into a hole?
Oh, what Noura told you
Yeah.
about.
Yes.
That's right. She told you a long story about an ancient evil god who fell from the sky and landed in Lake Titicaca, bringing hunger with it and devouring all it touched.
And was that the which like culture did that originate from out of all the ones we're talking about? Or do we know?
You don't know for
local
sure,
folklore?
Yeah, it's local folklore, but it would probably be, it could be very well be attributed to the Tiwanaku people. They just were such a mysterious group. No one quite knows what they did. But you know that in that story, Ikeko, the trickster hero Ikeko, told the evil god where to find the best food. And it says, oh, it's underground. And Ikeko convinced this evil god to crawl into an old armadillo burrow and then place stones over the burrow to trap the god below. And then that site became sacred and they built a temple over it, binding it in place with spells worked in gold.
My God.
Okay. Yeah, those are. I found my notes now, and that's.
Okay.
Yeah, sky god. People avoided. They think it's a tomb.
So Carter kind of turns to Feyruz and he's like, do you recognize this thing with the long head? Is that any kind of deity that you've ever seen in any of your learnings?
It's Tiwanakan. So was the pendant. And so was, I believe, Margo, the mask that you found.
Yes.
It all ties together, and then, but this was all pre-Columbian. It's before the conquistadors came over. What purpose did it serve, and why would they be interested in this now?
So old Longface here
Also-
could be the space god.
The space from what
The sky
Noura
god.
was telling.
Yeah.
Yes. The
you
evil
think-
god from... It was tricked by the
Well,
trickster
she's-
god.
She said she saw exactly what we just saw. An evil sky god. That looks like an evil sky god.
It certainly came out of the
So
sky to
then-
me.
Which would make this where it was trapped?
A pile of stones.
If
And
Which means those people aren't just disgorging themselves. It's not... I know a vomitorium's not a vomitorium, but they're not vomiting, they're feeding something.
Yes, and then that would mean that the gold slabs, the ones that we found,
Yes.
is what's keeping this thing inside.
It's why it...
But what,
I'm wondering
Why
if
it
it got
harms them.
out at one point with the Incans, and that's why you see so many, like, different timed artifacts.
And if the broken piece that we're carrying is part of the spell that kept it bound in... And no wonder there's so bloody many of them walking about.
Well, that thing was ready to come out regardless of what was in the wall or not. That thing was ready to pop.
Well, can we put it back?
We could, or we could leave. We could go back to our homes. We could I'll be honest with you guys. I never want to see that again. I never want to see a hole in the fabric of reality open and some insect. It's just, you guys might have different preferences. Personally, that wasn't a cool experience for me.
How are we supposed to go back when we know that we're being followed?
How do we ignore just what we saw and what we know?
It's easy. We get on those donkeys and we just go, and we have pisco sours by 72 hours from now. It's gonna be awesome.
I don't think I could ever relax again.
No, we've come this far. We have to press on. We can do this together.
Do what? What are we doing? Why are we here?
We can go in there and...
Tillinghast, if you walk away now, and others here stay and face whatever it is we're going to face in there, you may think that you won't regret it, but there's a part of you that will nag at you every day until you die. I don't know what this gold thing is. I don't know what's happening. I scarcely can believe it if my eyes didn't just see it and I didn't feel it in my mind. I couldn't even get a shot off. They're telling me I almost shot you. I bloody well can't live with myself unless I try to set something right. I'm going in there to try to put this thing back together and keep that thing, whatever it is, from getting out. I've walked away from too many things already.
You're making a good point in insinuating that I'll be going back alone. That's not necessarily preferable either.
If that thing that we saw can just rip through space, what's to say that it wouldn't do that wherever we end up running away to?
Yeah, it could come back at any time.
Well, for one, the real estate market in Gloucester, I don't think it'd be able to afford a house. You know, it's not liquid, probably. But, fine. If everyone's going, then, guys. All right, what are we doing? Tell me.
Looks
Do
like
we have
could
more
climb
lamp
over
oil
these.
on us?
We could climb over the gate, or we could just walk through these doors. Either way, inside is the only way.
Let's make sure we have every drop of that oil that we have in our possession.
And we need to bring the gold bar with us.
Yes.
That's yes, that thing.
I've got that here. I brought it with me.
Oh, good, because I did not want to go climbing back down that hill.
Is there anything on those donkeys that we need before we...
We got it, right? We've
got our weapons.
Let's role
lamp
play.
oil.
Climbing. Descending.
Give me 17 climb checks.
Searching through pouches. I've got a pouch search skill. All right, yeah, let's soldier on, you crazy people.
All right, so what do you want to do? You want to go over the gate? Like I said, it's broken, so you can't tell how high it ever was in its prime. It goes, sometimes it's 6 feet, sometimes it's 12 feet, but there's like sand deposits that have blown against the outer wall so that you could easily hop over. Mm-hmm. But there's also these double doors leading right in. All it needs is a welcome mat.
Can I look around for whatever branches, something and with the remaining part of the shirt that was torn off, can I make a torch leading in?
Yes.
Yeah, sure. It's
also,
starting to get laid out, starting to get dark, but you've still got the light a little bit.
Which of those two options is closer to the spot where we saw the two disappear?
To the south. So if you look at your map here, obviously at the end of this pathway, you've got the double doors, but you could scramble along the wall to the south where it starts to turn. And it seems like they were walking in that direction. At least it appears that way when they didn't come out of the doors. They were kind of walking down. So you see, if you look down there are enough silt deposits that you could just hop over the wall or go over there and look over down and see what's on the other side.
I think we should just give a little peeky over that wall. We don't need to walk through this door just yet.
Very well. Let's just put our peepers over the wall. Make sure we're not walking into more of those things. There's something that should by rights be scuttling upon the bottom of the trench in the deepest part of the ocean. Crawling out of the bloody sky.
So you start to walk along this wall to get a better view on the other side of it, where these two vomiting figures disappeared out of your view as they moved closer. So you get down there and you start clambering up these silt deposits, and you get up and you look down and you see the rest of the site. There are a number of crumbled walls that indicate there were other structures there in the past, but now all that is left are walls, archways leading nowhere. But right on the other side of the wall here, where these figures disappeared, is a pit about 15 feet wide on each side, and the stench of death and decay is overpowering the second you look down, and the sound of flies buzzing about there. They're biting at you viciously, all coming up from this pit that is full of human remains. And as you're looking down into this pit of bodies, you hear a noise behind you. And you turn, and it's Augustus Larkin's severed head.
What?
And he's just like, the bloody tongue will grip you until you are crushed, and you will not live long enough to see the skies turn black and all humanity perish. We will meet again. And then the head just deteriorates and turns into a bunch of flies that go everywhere. And we'll see you next week. Flies!
Oh my god.
Was the head floating?
Floating head!
We had too much fun. I told you, don't have so much fun.